Hey guys, what is up? Kaiser58 here, and today I'm going to be showing you what you will need for a Leopard Gecko tank. So if you want to have a Leopard Gecko tank or own a Leopard Gecko, I'm going to show you what you need, things you should have if you want them, but we'll show you what you for sure definitely need. So first things first, I like to give my Leopard Gecko, that's her, sand mats because it's a little more natural for them and they're easy to change out. Sand, I mean, you can keep, it works good. It's really soft. You can do all that. But the sand mats, for me personally, when it comes to that, comes the choice. You got your felt mats, your grounding, you got this. I personally like this stuff because you can change it out pretty easily. It doesn't make too much of a mess. And, it actually, I noticed with her, it makes her hunt a lot better. She's a little more agile on the sand mats. And it's a lot more natural, like their environment. I've tried the felt mats personally. She got stuck on the felt mats, so I don't like those. Her teeth would get stuck when she'd hunt them. Other things you will need would be a humidity and temperature gauge, a water bowl, obviously, some hideouts, which I have two. You can do some plants, decorations, stuff like that, add some touches to it if you like. Under both hideouts, I actually have two heaters, so she can go back and forth as she likes, and she likes to chill in this one more times than not. I also have, if you have cats or anything like that, I don't have any cats, but this is a thing you should get if you do have any cats or animals that like to climb. A heavy-duty cage are great. That way they don't get in, harm your leopard gecko, or kill them. Another thing you should also have, I have a mister. You should mist your leopard gecko every so often. It isn't bad for them. It actually can help promote their shedding. You hook it up to one of these. You can do these misters, or there's a whole bunch of different types. I personally just use whatever water I use as a water jug to mist. I only do it once in a while. I typically like to actually mist her tank when it's raining outside for me. So that way it's kind of more realistic for her as she looks outside and everything. She does like to do that a lot, as you can tell she's doing right now. Another thing you will need, definitely very important for them, is the calcium. This is very important for leopard geckos. They must have this. I typically give this to her every time I give her the crickets or whatever you want to feed your leopard gecko. That is purely up to choice. My leopard gecko likes crickets a lot, and she loves the super worms, so that's what I get her. I only do the super worms very rarely so often because they're a treat for them. They're very high in fats. Another thing you should have is this Reptivite, or any kind like the reptile vitamins. It's super good for them. I give these to her about once a week, typically Wednesdays when I like to give her these. So every time you feed, I would give them this. That way it promotes them. The calcium is really good for them. But at least once a week I would do this. This is what I do. So I do every other day I feed her. So every other day I'll do this. Every other time I'll do this, except for Wednesdays, and I'll do this once a week. Other thing you'll need for her water, you cannot give them tap water. It will kill them. They're a lot like fish in a way like that, is it can poison them and harm them. You need to get rid of the minerals. So you need this ReptiSafe water conditioner for reptiles and make a bunch of different types. Water dish, you can go big. I also got a small one. Another thing I would recommend is some tweezers if you like doing super worms or anything like that. Some people like to pick up their crickets for their gecko and feed them individually. Me personally, I like to just give them the calcium, shake them up, throw them in there, and let her hunt and do her thing. It keeps her active. It's really good for her to hunt. I feel she's active. She's able to move around and do her own thing as she would in nature. That's also another reason I have the background. That is an optional thing also. If you want to do that, just to give them a little more environment, everything like that. Other thing that you must have, obviously, is your heating lamps. I got the red one for the evenings is when I run this one. You can get timers. I don't have a timer, so when I get home from work, I just turn the red one on. Once it gets dark, I run the nighttime one, which is this like UV looking guy. And that one helps them come out at night and stuff like that. And they all run at different wavelengths, so that's good for them. And then typically during the day, because she likes to chill in the little hut during the day, I'll have her, she'll always have a cold side. You always want a cold and hot side to your tank. So I make sure I'll run her daytime light during the day, which is typically the one that runs the most. and that'll sit over here, which actually, this is why I don't really have to mist your tank, is because this will actually cause the humidity in the tank to go up a little bit. You want to keep it in a certain range. Each lizard's different. I don't know the exact range. I know you don't want, I like to keep it in the 40 to 60 range, in the moderate to desert range sometimes. But other than that, you should get the gauges for both sides. You can do them for both sides. It is recommended. I do have yet to do that, but you don't absolutely have to. Other than that, that should be really all you need. I mean, your decorations, I mean, I got tanks. I mean, what I would do, get some cleaning brushes. Another thing you need, forgot to add this. If you want to do cleaning to your gecko's tank, you have to get this wipeout stuff. You can't use regular cleaners like your household cleaners. It is very toxic to them and can kill them. They have to be out of the tank though if you're using this. There's instructions and everything on how to use it. So you do have to let it air out even still with this stuff. Another thing I'd recommend, just because if you do mist your tank, sometimes you get, as you can see, some water marks and water spots. This actually used to be like all white. It was super bad at a point. Scotch-Brite pads. I would keep like little Scotch-Brite pads, and what you can do, just use some water, like some of that mist water. When you mist, you can just scrub it. I mean, you'll get this sometimes, but that's obviously what this is for. But that will get rid of that hard calcium on there. That makes your tank look like poo and stuff. Let's see what else we got. Again, we got more water conditioner for her, so another thing that you should have. Other than that, that's really all you need. I mean, I put her in a container like this that has holes in it. That way, when I change this out, that she goes in here and, geez, brain fart, I can't talk. And that keeps her safe from there while I change everything out. And then what I'll do, sometimes crickets like to go under the mats. If I can't get it fully down like this, then I'll vacuum out and under there too. That way that's all clean. Other than that, that is all you need for a leopard gecko tank. This is Kaiser 58, over and out.